this is Miss Moreland. Welcome to lesson 12.5 volume. I may be skipping a couple things, so if you miss out on a couple notes, please come to class with some questions. Otherwise, this video would end up being a very long video. So, first thing we're going to start out with is what is volume? Volume is the, hold on, let me get my thing working. Volume is the amount of space contained in a solid. Or in other words, when we use that word, it's a three-dimensional shape. So a cone, a cylinder, a prism, a pyramid. Okay? And notice that we label volume in 3 dimensions because it's centimeters cubed here. Okay? And so as it says sketch an example of unit, sketch 1 centimeter squared. So that would just be a 1 by 1 cube. So now we're going to take those blocks and see what we can build. So to get an idea of what volume is, it's like you build the base of an object. So right here I have a 6 by 3 by 1. So you can kind of see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks in one row, and it's 3 deep. So I can find the volume by doing 6 times 3, and it's a 1 by 1, so it's only 1 high. So the volume would be 8 centimeters cubed. Now what's nice about that is you can kind of add to that. So I'm going to make it a little taller. Oh, this one goes to doing the same thing. Same idea here is 1 by 9 by 3. Now I have 9 in each row and 3 here, so that's 9 times 3 times 1 high, which is 27 centimeters cubed. And what you can kind of get the idea with volume is you first take that base, that shape that you made, and you find the volume of the area of that, and then you can start stacking on another layer. So instead of doing 9 by 3 by 1, my base is 9 by 3. My height of this now is 2 high. I have 2 stacks of blocks. So that's going to be 27 times 2, which is, struggling with numbers, but I think that's 54. All right. And again, we could even make it a different base, but it's still the same height. So your idea is to first find that base, which is 7 by 3, and then see how high you're making it. So you can be making it 2 high, maybe you made it 3, maybe 4. In this case, we only have 2 high, so that 7 times 3, 21, times my 2 gives me 42 centimeters cubed. Right? So is there any shortcut for volume? Well, here's how I describe it. I describe it as you find the area of the base. Oh my gosh, my writing. And then you multiply by the height. And that says, again, I'll repeat, find the area of the base, multiply by the height of the object. So this one, the base is a rectangle. The area is going to be 8 by 10. It's the base, 8 by 10. And the height of this prism is 5. So I'm going to take my 80. And it's like I'm taking that rectangular base right here and I'm stacking 5 of them up. So I'm going to multiply it by 5. And 80 times 5, is that 400? That's 400 centimeters cubed. All right. All right, now we're going to change the shape of the base here. So now you can see that I have a triangle for my base. So sometimes a shape isn't sitting on its base. So in this case, my base is my triangle, and the height, remember, is from base to base. So the height of this is 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the height and base of my base, which is my triangle. So remember, the area of a triangle is base times height, divide 2. So I'm going to take 3 times 4, divide 2, which is 6. That's the area of my base, just this flat triangle, and then I'm stacking it 1 deep. So I multiply by my height of 1. So that's going to be 6 centimeters cubed. And again, what I'm going to do now is just change the height. So my base here, remember, still has an area of 12. Oh, not 12. Gosh, 6. Forgot to divide it by 2. And then instead of stacking it 1 deep now, my height is 8. I have 8 of these triangles now. So that's 48 centimeters cubed. All right, so I guess the whole idea of volume is that you find the area of the base and you multiply by the height. So if B is the area of the base of a prism or a cylinder, and the height is the height of the solid, so remember that's from base to base, then the formula for the volume is V equals base times height. And B is the area of the base, and H is, remember, the height, which again goes from base to base even if it's not sitting on it, okay? So we're going to start with the basic one. My base is a rectangle, and it's 2 by 3. That's 6. So my volume is going to be base times height. Remember, B is the area of my base, which I just found to be 6, and I'm stacking it 9 high. So the volume is 54 centimeters cubed. All right, I want you to pause the video and try the next one. The base shape, even though it's not sitting on it, is this triangle right here. So your area of your base is going to be base times height divide 2, which is 2 times 6 divide 2, which is 6. So when I go to find the volume, it's base times the height. My volume is my area of my base, which is 6. The height of this prism is 4, because remember, it's base to base. So from triangle to triangle, I go 4 centimeters. So I'm multiplying it by 4. My volume is 24 centimeters cubed. All right, and then we have a cylinder. A cylinder has a circle for its base now, so it's this base, or you can call it, these are the same thing. So the area of a circle, remember, is pi r squared. So I'm going to do pi times 5 squared, which is 25 pi. That's my big B, my area of my base. So when I find the volume, big B base times height, I'm going to do 25 pi for my base. And I'm going to times it by the height. The height of this cylinder is 10. So I get 250 pi meters cubed. Right? Pause the video and try the next one. First, identify your base. And remember, it doesn't always have to be sitting on it. But in this case, it looks like this trapezoid is my base. So pause it and see if you can find the volume. So volume equals base times height. My base is a trapezoid, so the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times my height. So it's 1/2. My base 1 is 5, and this is my base 2 right up here. If I were to take that trapezoid, it looks like this. 5, and I can see that this is 3. I'm just going to match that. So that's 3, and the height it looks like is 2. So it's going to be 3 plus 5 times 2, so 1/2, 8 times 2, which gives me 8. So that's what my big B is. So I'm going to plug that in. And again, the height is from base to base. So from trapezoid to trapezoid, I go a distance of 4. So the volume is 32 centimeters cubed. Right? This is kind of going backwards and going into some solving problems. So this one, it tells me the volume of a cylinder is 92 centimeters. Find the radius. So you always want to start with your formula, volume equals base times height. I know the volume is 92. I know that my base is a circle. That's a circle here. And if I were going to find that, I would use pi r squared to get that. But I don't know my radius, so I just have to leave it as pi r squared. And I know my height of the cylinder is right here, which is 4. Now I have an equation to solve, and I just have to find r. So I'm going to solve that by first dividing by 4. So 92 divided 4 is 23. And I'm left with pi r squared. So I'm going to divide by pi. And I get 7.3. My pen's going crazy. 7.32 equals r squared. And again, to get rid of a square, I square root. So my radius is going to be 2.7 approximately. Oh, my pen is going crazy. And that's just going to be in centimeters because it's a one-dimensional thing, which means the radius of the circle must have been 2.7 to get a volume of 92. And this one's kind of the same idea. It says the volume again is 180. Solve for x. So volume equals big B times h. I know my volume is 180. See if you can plug in the rest of this. The base shape of this is a rectangle, so the base would be 4x because it's 4 times x, and then the height is 9. So to solve this, I'm going to do 180 equals 4 times 9 is 36. That's 36x. I'm going to divide by 36. So 180 divided by 36 is 5. And now we can check. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 9 should give me 180. Right? So we're going to pause here and go to the next video. That's done with the volume of prisms. We're next going to move on to the volume of cones and pyramids.